Okay, it's 11 a.m. I got here at 10:40, and here is how I run my passive income eBay business, making about $3,000 a month. Here's today's sales: 10 postcards for a estimated profit of about $100. I don't know the exact details, but the numbers average out to about $10 profit in every one of these envelopes. So 20 minutes a day, no work on weekends, to make about $3,000 a month across these 3 stores. I sell some other stuff. If I see a good deal, I gotta take a good deal, right? But for the most part, my passive eBay business is just selling postcards, and all of these you see on the wall along there. There's almost 200,000 postcards organized on these shelves. And this is how you do it. And you can really apply this methodology to any business you want to on eBay, assuming you can fulfill the requirements. I know a guy who does a very similar thing with clothes, believe it or not. He's got 50,000 listings on eBay, all different clothes. And why does having more things for sale equal passive income? And it does, when you look at it this way, right? If I've got 200,000 postcards for sale, that's so many that I don't have to worry about trends and what's in demand or pricing or whatever. I can price everything at a reasonable but high price. So everything that I sell, $15. That's like what the list price is. This envelope, I'm not going to flip it over because there's an address on here, but it ships USPS letter mail. It's called eBay standard envelope. You can do the same thing with clothing, although it would ship probably USPS Ground Advantage or maybe in a padded mailer. I don't really know the best shipping rates for like jeans these days, but that's kind of a digression. The point that I'm making though is when you have a huge amount of things for sale, you can charge higher prices. You'll sell less, have a smaller sell-through rate, a lower sell-through rate, but you'll be making more money per sale. And so instead of working 4 hours a day, with an average sale price of $2 because you're trying to move everything as fast as you can, you work 20 minutes a day with an average sale price of, $10, $15. I think you're beginning to see, like, in a large data set, with 200,000 in my case, less than that, but we'll just round up. 200,000 different listings. Of course, some will sell. If you have 200,000 of anything for sale on eBay, you're probably going to sell a few a day. Now, I was selling 10 on a random Wednesday. Is that good? I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty, if you were to compare sell-through rates, I'm sure it's pretty low. But I don't really care about my sell-through rate. I care about the profit at the end of the day. That's how you gotta kind of think about these things when you're trying to make your business more passive, is you're inherently trading off sales velocity for less work. That's how it goes. I mean, there's a million ways to do this. You can make more money doing so many other things, but I don't have a lot of time. I really only want to spend, like I said, 20 minutes a day. And to be honest, most of that 20 minutes was spent picking out my next ebook to listen to on Audible. I picked the Nick Adams short stories by Ernest Hemingway. So that probably it was today, 10 postcards. It's actually 9 postcards and then 1 set of trading cards. 1994 Marvel Flair. I bought a few of those off of a few sets of those on an auction, and I just made a variation listing. So that is, well, actually, no, it's more because I sold about 10 cards. So there are going to be ups and downs. Some days I'll make $300 across the 3 stores. Typically on like a Friday or a Saturday, sales are pretty big, as with most eBay businesses. But the most part is just getting a system where you can get a lot of inventory for cheap, list it all in the same way. Why the same way? Because then you can either automate it or outsource it. You can bring in people to work for you and take pictures and write descriptions and just follow a checklist. And then when they quit, you bring in someone else, or you do what I do and you automate it all. So I have my postcard scanner. I scan it. It goes through programs, and then I put it in boxes like this. And these are all the SKUs. So when I go out there, I say, okay, I had to pick up Florida coconuts, Munyon's Island, Lake Worth, Hugh C. Layton Co. postcard for a buyer in SKU PC 878. Now we're on PC 2526 right there. So I'd probably listed this postcard a year ago, maybe more than that. But I go over to the corresponding spot on my shelf. It's all in numerical order. Visually, I match the postcard. That's like probably the one part that actually requires me to be here, is I have to visually match it based on the picture on my pick list from that eBay provides when I buy bulk postage. Pick it off, put it in an envelope like this, put the thermal label on there, and then ship it off. It really is simple. Again, I've spent like half as much time today making this video as I have made working on my eBay passive income postcard business. So that really does give you a good idea of how simple it can be. Now, it took me 18 months of time to get here, and probably over those 18 months I spent 100 hours writing all the code to do this, because I didn't really have any experience doing coding before, and I had to learn as I went. And then when I list postcards, it does take me about a weekend to list 20,000 postcards. So that does take time too, but I think it's a drop in the bucket compared to how easy it is to just maintain this business. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.